Hello, we're the History Hikers. I am Dries.
And I'm Werchter.
And we are doing our second part of our 55-kilometer journey to Werchter. We've just started walking, and as you can see, the weather has changed completely. It's rainy, it's windy, it's cold, and it might even get snowy.
Might even be snowing already. After regular rain right now.
It's crazy. 25 kilometers today. Yeah, we should be able to survive, and we're gonna see some cool stuff on the way, and we'll give you some information as always. Let's get going.
Yes, let's get on with it.
We've got new and improved walking sticks, so we'll go like 10 kilometers an hour now.
Wow! Don't forget, we're still a little bit sore from yesterday. So we're still going to go the same pace.
Maybe you're sore.
I am sore. From Bekkevoort, we make our way over to the neighboring Tiltwinge.
We pass by a house that is listed as a protected village site. This house is called Het Stenen Huis, which translates literally to the stone house. Built in the 17th century, this was the only house in the village that was built with bricks. Only the church and its presbytery and the nearby mill could boast being made out of stone as well. The Alderman's Court of Tielt frequently held their sessions in Het Stenen Huis. Above the entrance door there is a rectangular year stone with its inscription Anno 1648.
This floating staircase is not a historic monument, yet as it towers over het Hageland at 80 meters above sea level, we thought it was worth a visit. Belgian viewers might recognize this monumental stairs built out of cotton steel from the TV series Cowboys. The stairs were designed by the studio Close to Bone and with its rust-brown color tried to commemorate the iron sandstone industry of the region. A little further we come across Huize Hageland, which is the local heritage museum. It's a little bit early in the morning to visit the inside though. Huize Hageland is the former presbytery of the St. Martin's Parish in Tielt and dates from the 17th century. Together with its Stenen Huis, it was one of the very first stone buildings in Tielt. The building in traditional brick and sandstone style was rebuilt in 1741. Local children, such as me when I was little, know Huize Hageland for its fantastical fairy play garden.
Breakfast.
From the former presbytery we walk our way up to the church of the St. Martin's Parish. It is a single nave church and was built in different periods. The transept is from the 16th century, the choir is from about 1600. The iron sandstone tower and the nave, which stands on 15th century foundation, date from the 18th century. The church was protected as a monument in 1982, while the surroundings were protected as a village site. The veneration of St. Martin is to this day still commemorated by a great feast around a bonfire on the 10th of November, locally known as Sint-Mettevu.
We leave the urban areas of Tiltwinge and head for the forest. Het Walenbos is one of the biggest forests in Flanders, stretching over 500 hectares. It is largely a forest of brooks, located in an area that at the end of the 18th century still consisted largely of meadows. Drainage and afforestation with numerous poplar plantations took place in the 19th century. Peat was cut in some areas in the beginning of the 20th century. It is a watery area with numerous springs, streams and ditches with a particularly rich fauna and flora.
We make our way to Houwaard and are greeted by the imposing Sint-Denis church. It is a building from the end of the classical period, circa 1800, though the west tower is a Gothic tower of iron sandstone from the 13th or 14th century.
So will you look at this holy man who is holding his head in his hands. Good boy.
At the cemetery in Houwaard are 6 Commonwealth War Graves. They are the graves of airmen from 2 different Allied aircrafts which crashed in Houwaard during the Second World War.
The Romans spread wine and vine throughout Europe during their conquests. The people of het Hageland soon realized that their soil of iron sandstone was perfect for this exotic plant, but it would take several more centuries before viniculture really took off. According to historians, viniculture in Houwaard dates back to the 12th century.
Quite a steep climb this. Almost there. Done.
We don't quite know where Houwaard ended and where Asmal started, but it was somewhere along these iron sandstone hills. And the one we are walking on right now is the Beningsberg. The Beningsberg is one of the most beautiful examples of ironstone mounds, witness mounds or Distiaan hills, typical of the Hageland, and rises more than 50 meters above the surrounding area.
A witness mound, witness hill or Distiaan hill is a more or less isolated, erosion-resistant mound or hill complex in an otherwise relatively flat landscape. From the east, a pilgrimage route runs along the Beningsberg to Asmal. Asmal is the home of a Saint Job cult. Presumably, the use of the road goes back to the 15th and 16th centuries when pilgrimage was at its height. On the other side of the highway rises the Beningsberg's brother, the Wijngaardberg, literally the Vineyard Mountain.
The Presbytery of Wezenmaal, built and served by the Abbey of Averbode, consists of an enclosed house of brick and white iron sandstone. The presbytery is moated on 4 sides and can be reached via a gatehouse with a gate tower, originally equipped with a drawbridge. This drawbridge has been replaced by a brick bridge with iron sandstone coverstones and an arch above the moat. The gateway contained the dovecot, but also served as a watchtower. In the facade of this gatehouse, one can still see the grooves of the vanished drawbridge. In the 18th century, the parsonage underwent extensive renovation. Doors and windows were widened, stone window crosses replaced with basket arch windows.
We cross the road and find that the St. Martin's Church of Wezenmaal is open to visitors, a chance we take with both hands. The choir and the sacristy on the north side are from the 13th century. The south transept arm dates from the 14th century. In the 15th century, the north transept arm, the naves and the west tower were built. The substructure of the tower and the church is made of iron sandstone. White limestone was used for the superstructure of the tower. The construction of the southern sacristy followed in the 18th century. The interior, where the arches merge into capitanless columns, is an example of the Brabant Gothic. After a fire in 1751, the crossing and choir were covered with a classicistic barrel vault. The spire was replaced by a buttressed roof after a fire in 1860. The interior is decorated with paintings from the 16th, 17th and 18th century. The main altar is from the 18th century and comes from the Adrianus VI College of Leuven. Only 5 kilometers left or something. It's getting tough, but we press on. So we are at the Plas van Rotslaar, which is a lake. And,
yes, it's a lake, that's what they can see.
I used to come here a lot as a kid with school and with football practice, to run laps around the lake or to have sport activities. It's quite nice. I believe it's made during the 70s when they were digging up sand to build the nearby highway, the E314.
Indeed, as Dries said, the Terheide domain, better known as the Plas van Rotslaar, was created in 1975 after sand extraction for the construction of the E314, not unlike at Schulensmeer, which we passed at the beginning of our hike yesterday.
This place was a crossing of the Demer between Werchter and Rotslaar. Until the 1940s, this was a small crossing called the Schuit. A wooden pontoon pulled by an iron chain was fixed here in the riverbed. The current so-called Soldiers' Bridge was constructed in the early 1950s by soldiers of the Engineer Corps as an exercise. We are at the end of our walk. We're ending the video here. We've come full circle back at the Demer. Pardon me. It was exhausting.
You're doing it again!
worthwhile
Stop poking with the stick.
What did you think?
Well, I survived. I think that's fine for now because I'm really struggling. In a couple of days I will be able to really savor this experience. Right now, I just want a bed and a warm meal.
Let's get that warm meal going at least. We are the History Hikers. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you on a hike near you.
Or near us.
Or near us soon.
Like, comment, subscribe and all that good YouTube stuff if you have enjoyed watching this video.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye!